Hello everyone, I'm Alex and I'm a music producer from Italy. Today I want to go a little bit more in depth in my studio setup. I will show you how everything is connected, which hardware and synths I'm using, and how everything is plugged together on the Orion32. So let's start from the core of the studio. So as I mentioned before, everything is plugged into my Orion32 from Antelope Audio. I choose this interface because it gives me 32 built-in input and output, plus the chance to improve with more input and output via digital or MIDI connection. And because, of course, I don't want any compromise regarding the conversion, because this is a mastering grade conversion and it sounds really amazing. Everything is routing here, and having that much input and output gives me the chance to jump between different outboard or synths or microphone. It's instantly plug and play. I don't have to unplug and going crazy because I have enough of the signal needed. 32 input and 32 output. So as you can see here, I have my Patchbay that basically it's fixed like this because everything is already routed as I want, but that gives me the chance to change microphone, for example, with a different preamp. I have 4 Manley Force preamp, tube preamp, Manley Voxbox tube preamp that I basically use on vocals and guitar. Have my precious Neve 1073 with the EQ that it sounds amazing on certain vocals and bass, for example. Then I have 2 SSL on my 6, so I have big choices of preamp and lots of microphone over there in the boot and inside, for example, on my piano. Patchbay basically gives me the chance to mix this and picking one microphone with one preamp depending of which sources I'm recording. So this is really helpful. And of course, provide me the chance to route different stuff. For example, if I want to put, I don't know, Big Sky reverb on the Prophet or OB6, or compressing the Moog with the 1176 or whatever I want, I can just plug it already. And of course, everything goes straight into my Pro Tools session. All the keyboards are plugged to a DI for the signal. The DI is already on the Patchbay and is normalized already in the Orion input. And we have a camper over here that it's plugged straight into Orion as well. All the preamp. Here, as I mentioned before, my precious Dangerous, an incredible summing mixer, summing unit that gives you also the chance to add paralimit is a 1176 parallel and harmonic exciter that I love on vocals. And I have here my processing racks with a DBX 160A, really cool compressor for drums, for vocals, for whatever you want. Famous 1176 from Warm Audio, SSL Fusion, and my 500 series rack slot with Elysia Expressor and Character, SSL G-Bus compressor, and Prometheus. This is already plugged and playable from Pro Tools, everything already flagged through my Orion32. This is my main monitor and controller from Dangerous. This is also plugged straight on the Orion that came here in different signals. I can choose between 4 input. I have plugged only 2. The first one, the main, and the second, if I have a mix reference, I can switch between first and second. And I have 2 different speakers couple, main monitors from ATC and the NS10 from Yamaha, that it's really helpful while mixing vocals. because they have a really weird frequency boost on the mid that it really helps me finding the sweet spot on the vocals volume. This is the booth where I used to record basically vocals and acoustic guitar, and I have the ampli for bass and electric guitar. I have quite a few microphones to choose. Here we are with a Lewitt 1040 that gives me a lot of choices between tube and FET circuit. Really love this microphone. A classic Neumann EU87, a Shure, and a couple of ribbon microphones that I use mostly on guitar acoustic and electric. And an SM7B that sometimes it's really well performed on vocal for certain singers. Here there is the power play from Behringer that provides me, I'm using with 8 input mono that are split in 4 stereo, and gives me the instrumental, the backing box, the click and the microphone volume that can be easily mixed for a headphone mix by the artist who wants maybe more click or more volume for his microphone or from instrumental and whatever. This is plugged directly on my Orion, splitted all the channel, it's 8 channel straight over there, and I'm making the synths from Pro Tools to this, and the artist can mix by himself. This is my synth part, as you can see. We have a Roland Jupiter XM that it's good for the Roland classic sound. My precious Moog Subsequent 37 that I really love for the bass and for lead sounds. I think this don't need presentation. It's a Prophet 6 I really like, and my favorite one is the OB from Dave Smith. Here we have a Moog Minitar. I think is one of the best sounding Moog synth. I really love. It's one of my first synth and I will never get rid of it. An Electron, really good for certainly kind of drum sounds, especially for techno and electronic stuff. The Roland Boutique that emulate the Juno and the Jupiter, and the Pro 1 from Behringer that actually I really love because it sounds really fat. Minilog from Korg, and I think that's it. Of course, playing a real analog synth with such a good converter like Antelope's one, it's really, I think, a game changing because gives you a lot of chance to mix later, and it gives you a easier sound to mix instead of plug-in when you have the right conversion and when you have the right instrument for it. Over there is my upright piano that my father gave to me when I was young. It's already ready to use. Those two Neumann microphones are already plugged into the Manley Force, and there is another microphone behind that gives me more mono sound if I need. And you can just sit and sound and everything and play and everything. It's already plugged. Here we are with the Marshall plugged into the booth that you see before, and the Ampeg as well in the ampli for the bass. I really like this kind of DA and this rig because it gives me a lot of choices between the sound, especially the Marshall with the EQ and the presence and high and low sensitivity for if I need distorted sound or clean electric guitar. In short, Orion32 is my lifeline for the studio. No compromises for the sound and plenty of input and output that I can use, just a plug and play whatever I want. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you find it useful, and thank you very much and hope to see you soon.